Just look at me now. Just look at me now. Just look at me now. Eyes upon me, take a look at me now. Just look at me now. Just look at me now. Eyes upon me, take a look at me now.
Takes on the strike. Nice body.
I am not stopping when I'm feeling everybody. Just look at me now.
Chelsea are champions.
Look at me now.
Good evening. We're over a third of the way through the Barclays Women's Super League season, and after an enthralling Manchester derby last weekend, both City and United took centre stage again as they look to keep up with the top two from the capital.
What a strike and what a goal! Oh, she spills it, and Spurs are back in it. Oh, brilliant! Lauren Hemp. That's a good run. It's a brilliant goal. That's a good ball in. Brilliant equaliser. Mellon's in.
Furnish, good looking ball, and an equaliser.
Ella Toone! What a goal from Ella Toone!
The Derby Day winners Manchester City look to maintain their revitalised title challenge with the visit of Spurs. United, meanwhile, were hoping to get back on track away to Bristol City. And second-placed Arsenal were intent on keeping the pressure on leaders Chelsea as they faced West Ham. And I get to do it all in the company of two former North London rivals. There's no boxing gloves, but in the white corner, ex-Spurs captain Jenna Schillaci, and in the red corner, former Gunners forward Jodie Taylor. We're going to keep it clean for you this evening. And we will start with Jenna's Tottenham first, who faced a trip to Manchester City, having lost just once this season. And black armbands were worn by both sides. And there was a minute's applause ahead of kick-off in memory of former Spurs and England manager Terry Venables, who passed away earlier today. Commentary comes from Mark Scott.
Looking at the teams, then Manchester City are unsurprisingly unchanged from the 11 which began against Manchester United at Old Trafford last weekend. Leah Alexandri was sent off in that match, but served her suspension by sitting out the League Cup match in midweek. Two alterations to the Tottenham team from the 1-1 draw at Leicester last weekend. Their third successive draw. Out go Ria Percival and Jess Naz. In come Asmita Ale and Lin Yang Zhang in this one. Hemp. Closely shackled by Neville. Roard. Harvey's ball in. Shaw! Powers home another goal against Tottenham Hotspur. 7 goals in 5 games against Spurs now for the Jamaican. And having bagged a hat-trick in her last game against Spurs, she has opened the scoring against them this evening with a thumping header. Good stuff by Khadija Shaw, and suddenly Manchester City coming forwards. There's a bit of a lunge there, and Spurs will break at pace. They've got 4 on 4. Bizet, oh, good hit, and well repelled by Chiara Keating as well. The first shot on goal of the game just before the half-hour mark for Spurs. Strong hands from Keating. Alexandri. Lauren Hemp. No flag against Roard. Good ball. Shaw is at it again with another headed finish. Well, one of the problems for them this season is not being clinical enough in front of goal. They have been ruthless so far today with the chances that have come their way. And Khadija Shaw might fancy that she's on for another hat-trick against Tottenham Hotspur. And Manchester City have breathing space. Shaw won't get to that one. And again, it was a bit of a troubling ball in for Tottenham to deal with. Alexandri, Shaw is the target, took it nicely, hit it well, and there is the hat-trick for Khadija Shaw. A sensational first-half treble for Khadija Shaw. Well, she is back in business, having only scored 1 goal in her last 4 appearances. 3 in the first half against Spurs today. And after a couple of very smart headers, this was a wicked finish. Khadija Shaw and Manchester City 3, Spurs 0. Alexandri's throw. Khadija Shaw. And still, good run. And she tried to pick out Angeldal. It's come for Hemp. It's another beauty for Lauren Hemp. A stunner against Manchester United last weekend, and a beauty to make it 4-0 against Spurs today. Shaw here was trying to pick out Angeldal initially. It then came to Jill Roord. Her effort was blocked, but there was no stopping Lauren Hemp on the follow-up. Inch perfect from Hemp. That's a good ball, and Thomas is through here. It's Martha Thomas. It's a good stop by Chiara Keating. Best move from Spurs so far. And Martha Thomas will be ruining, not slotting this one away. Hasegawa. Shaw. Here's Hemp. No sign of City letting up. Oh, that's a great ball, and it's the easiest of finishes for Jill Roord from virtually on the goal line. Oh, she's maybe discussing whether she got the touch before or after it went over the goal line. But again, Tottenham Hotspur undone on this left-hand side, and Manchester City have more than made sure of the 3 points. Here goes Hemp. Good ball, and it's another. Laura Coombs hasn't taken long to join the party. Manchester City running riot. It's her first WSL goal since April. She has added gloss to what is going to be a very, very big victory today. They have scored in every game so far this season in the WSL, have Spurs. So if anything, they'll want to try and at least continue that run. And they were very close to getting themselves a goal there as well. Thomas with the header and Keating with the parry. Good touch by Shaw, who's coming away again. Kelly in support, and Shaw is upended, and there's a yellow card in the post for Molly Bartrip, who just decided she will not pass at any cost. Well, that was the only way that she was likely to be able to stop her. First Spurs player in the book. Greenwood has a go! Oh! Inches away from an incredible goal. This would have topped the lot. So far out, but so close. And there's still time for more punishment, perhaps. Parker's got away, but... And now has got it into the area, and there is the icing on the cake. Laura Coombs has another. and it's 7th heaven for Manchester City. That equals their biggest ever margin of victory in the WSL. After a statement win at Manchester United, it is another strong message sent out by Manchester City that they have swept aside a Spurs team who had been on a good unbeaten run. Full time then. Manchester City 7, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
I just go out in every game, try to score and try to help the team. From my position, I know that I'm going to get opportunities with the players that I have around me. So I think first and foremost, that's what I try to do, and I try to be in the right positions and just wait for the crosses. 7-0 is too high, but I knew that we're going to have one or two of these kind of losses because the way we play is with bravery, and it's also sometimes you feel stupid because they take the ball in stupid situations. But for me, learning through this is the way we're going to do it. So for me, I'm still proud of the players and how they perform.
Positive words there from the Spurs manager. We'll come on to him in a moment with Jenna, but Jodie, I'll start with you. Start to finish, City were absolutely phenomenal. What impressed you the most about today's performance?
Yeah, City were just ruthless from the beginning of the game to the end of 90 minutes. They were ruthless, they were clinical, they forced errors and capitalised on them, and I was really impressed with them today.
And in terms of their press as well, Jenna, that was something right from the start you could see that was going to be a huge part of their game today.
Yeah, I mean, they really set the tone right from the off in terms of their press. It was intense, it was organised, and it was relentless for the opening periods of the match. They didn't allow Tottenham defenders any time on the ball or to play their style of football, which is, you know, playing out from the back. Here you see Hemp. If it wasn't Hemp, you know, it's then Shaw or Kelly on the other wing, and it was really difficult for Tottenham to play their style of football. But I thought Tottenham did well under that pressure in the early stages of the game. But yeah, it was relentless from the off.
And although it was 7-0, it didn't feel like a 7-0 game, did it, Jodie?
No, it didn't. Like I said, they were just really ruthless and clinical with the finishing, and you know, like the manager had said, they were playing brave, and they are going to concede goals, and unfortunately they didn't take the chances down the other end or create enough quality chances to cause any problems for City.
I mean, it's going to be Bunny Shaw, isn't it? It's going to be living rent-free in the heads of those players as they head back down to London. A hat-trick from her, second one in as many seasons here, Jenna. Yeah,
she was unbelievable today. I mean, the deliveries in from that left-hand side were brilliant all half, and here you just see her for the first goal, just riding above, in between both defenders. Neither defender's really taken control of that situation, and here it's just her movement. If you just take a look, it looks like she's moving to the front defender, but then just checks out the last minute to create that space, and again in between the defenders, just a more difficult finish, that one.
Yeah, it's her movement, isn't it, Jodie, as well?
Yeah, she's so good at staying between the centre backs, and her movement's incredible, and she's just a fox in the box as well. She's just quick to react to that. Not a great ball in the box, but she brings it down, reacts quickly. She's only got one thing in her mind, and that's to get a shot on goal and an early finish. The goalkeeper wasn't set. It was a brilliant goal.
It's going to be difficult, isn't it, for the Spurs players to get her out of their heads. But that's Bunny Shaw. That's what she does when she plays against Spurs. She does have good games. But someone else who had a great game, Jenna, Lauren Hemp as well. She had a fantastic game, involved in a lot of really clever, creative play in creating some of those opportunities for those goals.
Yeah, just seeing her goal here. It's a fantastic finish from out, you know, from distance there. But for me, in the second half, she dominated that left-hand channel. She held the width here, created a 1v1, and that's where one of her strengths. And it's this one here, I think maybe she might be having words after. I think that was going in. Teammates just stolen it. But here again, 1v1 against Ale all night. Ale had a tough night out there on the left and cut it back to her teammates. Coombe, who's come on, you know, and it just shows the depth that they've got as well within their squad.
And how much do you read into games like this? Because Spurs have started the season quite bright. They started quite well. Is it cause for concern, especially going into international break?
I think they'll be really disappointed, obviously, to concede. You know, it was a big scoreline, but I don't think a performance or this game will define the rest of the season. I think if you're looking at the start of the season, it's been positive, and even in today's game you saw glimpses of the way that Robert wants his team to play with that bravery. They did play some periods of really good football, they created chances, and just wasn't their day today. And I think maybe today you look at Man City's performance and you've got to credit their performance on the pitch. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a record-breaking score that Tottenham will want to forget. Let's just be honest about that for sure. Well, now to Bristol City, who've had the youngest starting 11 of any WSL side on average so far this season. Just 24 years and 89 days to be precise. The Robins had taken 4 points from their last 3 WSL games, heading into this one with Manchester United. And a record crowd of over 14,000 were watching on at Ashton Gate, as were Mas Baruki and Farrah Williams.
Lauren Smith is sticking with consistency and that same 11. The very experienced Rachel Furness is unavailable, still with a hamstring injury. Amelie Testrup, top scorer this season in the WSL, starts as part of a midfield 4. It's such a young squad as well. 17-year-old Mary Ward is one of those named as a sub. Mark Skinner opts to make 2 changes today to his starting 11. Jade Riviere coming in at the back. Japan's World Cup Golden Boot winner Hinata Miyazawa in midfield. So the 2 players they replace are both named as subs, Melvin Millar and Lisa Nielsen. Bristol try and counter, but Zellum gets a useful boot in there. Better this from Manchester United. Jace trying to get past Lizelle. And then Paris there, and that had to be powered away by Clark. She needed a strong hand to that one. Best chance of the match so far, Farrah.
A really good chance. The cut back to Nikita Paris, a little cut back in front of the defenders, allows for a free shot of goal, and it's a really, really good save from Clark.
Miyazawa once more getting involved. Jace into the area now. Jace still manages to get past one Bristol City defender. But again, United forced out the area. Back with Galton now. Shot from distance. And that one just tipped around the post by Olivia Clark.
They end up, Man United, getting actually a really good opportunity. Zellum here finding Galton in the box on her weaker foot. Turns and hits it quite early, and again another fantastic save from Clark to push it round the post.
You can really see how organised that Bristol City defence is off the ball. They keep very congested for United to try and find the space. Paris though, and she finds something here. Turner, and another great save that from Olivia Clark. A mistake from Bristol City's defence, and they needed their keeper to be sharp there.
When Bristol are sloppy on the ball and give it away, Turner still in the box. A great strike on the half turn, and another fantastic save from Clark.
Throw in, which Bristol City take quickly. Can they get the cross into the area? Goes in, and then the header there has to be saved quickly down low to her left by Mary Earps. Test drop there with that header, and Mary Earps, who's had nothing to do all match, had to be sharp, had to be quick, had to be down low to her left-hand side.
Mary Earps was stretched down to the post to pull off a fantastic save.
Manchester United really haven't got into this game since it resumed in the second half. Toon though to Miyazawa, shot from D, took a deflection and finds its way all the way into the back of the net. And Miyazawa is almost embarrassed really to celebrate that one. It took a cruel deflection if you're a Bristol City fan.
As you say, a huge deflection that sends Clark the wrong way and ends up in the back of the net. You know, disappointing that for Bristol, but for Manchester United, it's maybe what they needed to kickstart this half for them.
Left this time. To run more centrally. Miyazawa out to Toon, cross from Toon from the left. Paris, and just like that, Manchester United have a second. We said Bristol City tend to concede again once they fall behind, and in a matter of minutes, Manchester United have put this game probably beyond them already.
Ella Toone does really well down the left-hand side, digs out a really good cross with her left foot, and Nikita Parris does really well to get between the two centre-halves and headed it down into the ground, which makes it really difficult for Clark.
Bolton is making the run forward again. Jace is with her. Back to Toone in the D. Shot from distance, blocked by Clark. Good save that from the Bristol City keeper.
Ella Toone arriving late on the edge of the box. Really nicely weighted pass back, and I think Ella Toone's hit it too nicely, if you could say that, and a really good save again from Clark.
Now Le Tissier forward again. Manchester United, bit of a stumble there from Bolton, and the flag goes up on the far side, and that will not count. The flag was already up on the far side. That effort from Ella Toone will be disallowed.
I'm trying to see, unless it was Turner that was offside in the build, because it actually comes off the defender, which makes me think that Ella Toone is onside.
Lauren Smith out at the edge of her technical area. And now Jace is making the run forward and feeding in Toone very nicely here. England's national into the area, the shot from across field, and then Parris taps it in at the far post, but takes a collision as well with the post as she nips that one into the back of the net. The flag has gone up on the far side.
She delayed her pass and a tune into Nikita originally, tried to take it on herself, and luckily it does fall to Nikita at the far post, but I think it was slightly offside.
Bolton forcing the corner. Zellam's going to sweep this one in. Mallard's one of the players going up, and it bounced off the crossbar, and just about then is scrambled clear on the goal line by Bristol City. Mallard again there, proving himself to be a real threat.
Luckily for Clark, you know, because it does hit Clark and it nearly goes back into the own goal. Luckily for her, it doesn't go in.
That is the full-time whistle. Job done. Points wrapped up for Mark Skinner's side. What a hugely convincing performance. Full-time at Ashton Gate. Bristol City 0, Manchester United 2.
We're still creating. We're frustrated that it's ended up this way, but ultimately, you know, we haven't given up during that game. And I think, you know, the players have done really well, worked really hard, and they're the things you have to take away and make sure they go into the next performance.
A lot of credit to Bristol for the way they played and how hard they made it. But we had the quality and we had the system, the style to unpick that. We just didn't take our chances first half, and I think the game would be different again. But from our perspective, from the second half, I felt that they did everything we wanted them to do, and they deserved the win.
OK, well, for Manchester United, you could clearly see one thing that really jumped out. They were so frustrated trying to break through that Bristol City defence, but it was a bit of luck that got them the opening goal, wasn't it, Jenna?
Yeah, it was. I think Bristol City were fantastic in the first half in terms of their block, and frustrated Manchester United. They couldn't find a way to break them down, and here you see that slice of luck that they get. Mia Asler just takes a deflection off the back, and Sophie Clark, who was fantastic in the first half, there was absolutely nothing she could do about that wicked deflection there. But yeah, you felt that it was going to be a bit of a piece of luck for them or something special to break that deadlock, because they found it really difficult to break them down in the first half.
But once they did, off they went, and Ella Toone, she worked really hard to make sure that she was part and impactful on the pitch as well here, Jodie.
Yeah, she had a great game. You know, first half, I don't think United found her enough, and no doubt Mark Skinner would address that at half-time, and they were able to find her a lot more in areas, and what an unbelievable ball into the box that was for Nikita Parris to finish. And there again, she's a part of the play 1-2, getting a shot off from range, which was really unfortunate with. And then here, this is unfortunate, she was offside, but was able to put the ball in the back of the net. And like I said, she was getting in the pocket, she was making runs out wide, she was getting shot off, she was assisting. Again, another offside finish, but she's really starting to hit form now.
Yeah, and that's nice, isn't it? If you don't always start the season as you want to start, and then you start to find your form, it's a big deal for someone like Ella Toone. Let's talk about Bristol City's game plan, though. What did you notice about their game plan in particular here, especially with their defence? Yeah,
they obviously set up with the 5 in the back and started with the block, the 4 in between. And I think Manchester United, they had to be patient in the way they play, and as the half went on, they got more and more frustrated because Bristol was so organised, and they were forcing Manchester United to play back and pushing them higher up the pitch. With that, they then got some opportunities themselves. Obviously, see here, Abigail Harrison, fantastic outside on the left-hand side, whips the ball in, and it's Rogers with the header. And you know, in those moments, when you're not expecting to have so much of the ball, it's these moments here that you've got to make count, especially against a team like Manchester United. But they did create chances, but I think first half they really frustrated Manchester United. I thought Man United, they made it difficult for them to find that space, and then in the second half, obviously the slice of luck, and then it was a good goal.
Yeah, Jenna mentioned Olivia Clark at the start there. The fact that she made some fantastic saves early on in the game, and she really worked hard. You can see some of these saves here, Jodie. She was outstanding today.
She was, especially in the first half. She really kept Bristol City in the game. Of course, the unfortunate deflected goal early in the second half, but really difficult saves to make that she was pulling off, and just seemed to be right there, keeping it out the back of the net. But like I said, really unfortunate with the deflection on the first goal. And I think once you when you're playing in a low block and there's chance after chance and you're making saves, as soon as you let a goal in and you concede, I think your head starts to go, you're a little deflated, and I think that's what happened today.
Well, to Meadow Park, where West Ham visited Arsenal, having lost all 5 of their previous away WSL games to the Gunners. Amanda Illetstedt was one of Jonas Einabl's summer arrivals, and the Sweden defender is settling in nicely, having scored her first goal for the club in the Conti Cup on Thursday.
I want to win titles. I'm not alone to wanting to do that, especially not here in this team. The reason I signed was obviously because I think this is a great club. I got a feeling that I really want to be a part of it. So when Arsenal came up with a win offer, and yeah, I felt that was the right decision for me. The league gets more competitive. Every game is so important. If you're not there for 100%, then you're not gonna win, you're gonna lose. Also kind of the reason that I chose to play here in England, because I know that it is competitive. Like I like those games, and it's actually, you need to be on your highest level all the time. That's a good environment to be in. Jonas is like really a coach that is focusing on the details. I had Jonas in Rosengård. I think he is really passionate as a coach, and you really feel that as a player. I think that's one of the most important things. So it feels good to be working together again. Being nominated for the Ballon d'Or was like a special moment for me in my career. Yeah, being recognized for my performance alongside so many like top players, yeah, I felt really humbled and honored to be one of them. I actually got to know like before our Champions League qualification in Sweden. When he told me, I was obviously really happy to be one of them. So that was a special moment. It took me some while, I have to say, like to recover after the World Cup and to get into a new team. It takes time, like especially when you're a defender. You really need to have like good relationships with the other players around you, and that doesn't take like 1 week to build on. Like that takes a while. We are in the flow right now. Like have been winning 6 games in a row. We are getting better and better each game we are playing together.
Ford is on the move. Shimizu, the covering defender. Still Ford, who will try and get to the byline. It's a good block from Shimizu. It's an early Arsenal corner. Plenty in red and white. In swinger to that near post. Might fall for Ford here. West Ham will clear to the edge of the area and beyond. Cooney cross. Frida Maanum to take a touch and curl into the top corner. It is the perfect start for Arsenal. Inside the opening 2 minutes, it's a wonderful strike. Cooney Cross will claim the assist. Only Frida Maanum will know if she meant this, but that's right into the top corner. Palava. Shimizu with the interception. She read the play really well. This is Evans. Asai with a glancing header. Zinsberger rooted to the spot. West Ham unlucky not to be on level terms here. Wonderful glancing flick. Wubben-Moy. Cooney Cross to turn. Mead is on the move on the right-hand side. Here is Beth Mead. A shimmy and a shuffle onto that left foot and into the corner. Wonderful strike from Beth Mead. Arsenal have 2. And for Beth Mead, it's her first goal since returning from injury. A first goal in the WSL since scoring against Spurs over a year ago. And a stunning effort from the England international. Battle on here. Evans to turn. Oh, that's a little loose. And Russo might be favourite to get there ahead of Shimizu. And it's still Alessia Russo. And it's Beth Mead. Beth Mead! She's back all right. Back in the England squad, back amongst the goals. Beth Mead at the double gives the Gunners a third in a first half in which they have run riot. First touch wasn't great, but the second, you know where it was going. Smith. Asait. And still, it's good footwork. And the shot deflected onto the frame of the goal. And the woodwork denies Asait again. Twice now. She's hit the post. This one via a deflection.
Just got it on the edge of the box, thought I'd cut inside and try my luck with a shot, and I think when it left my foot I knew it was a pretty good hit, so I'm happy it went in.
Worth the wait?
Worth the wait, I'll take that one, especially normally the left foot's for standing on, so I'll take that one.
She's worked very hard. She's come close a couple of times for that as well, so it was really nice, and doing that in front of the home fans, so we're all delighted for her.
We probably didn't get enough of a hold in the game in the first half as what we'd have liked, but performance-wise we didn't play badly. We just obviously made a couple of errors that led to goal-scoring opportunities.
Jodie, you were there today, and Arsenal, you know, fantastic stuff. They're putting the pressure on Chelsea. That's their 6th win in the league in a row. And what was it about today that really made you happy, despite that coaching staff as well?
Yeah, they started really strong. I think we're growing in confidence every game. You know, the confidence, belief, and with that comes the performances as well. And starting strong, I thought we got the press right, which is really pleasing. Something I've really been working on. So yeah, started really strong. Getting an early goal helped that, and yeah, just growing in momentum.
Yeah, growing in momentum and someone growing in confidence. Beth Mead, isn't it great? Starting, scoring, getting her confidence back here, Jenna.
Yeah, absolutely, and it looks like Beth Mead's here back at her best. That's a trademark goal there off of a weaker foot, supposedly, but it's a fantastic, fantastic strike. Just little drop of the shoulder just to open up the angle there, and yeah, it's beautiful, saw it home. And I think, you know, after the year she's had, 60 minutes in the tank today, 2 goals, that will do her the world of good.
And I guess also then, Jodie, the rest of the team are just made up for her, because when she's backfiring, it just gives a boost generally for the rest of the team, I'm sure.
Yeah, and she's been brilliant in the dressing room as well, even though she hasn't been playing. She's had a really tough year with injury, you know, with things off the pitch, loss of her mum. It's been a really tough time, but she's stayed in such high spirits, and so to see her get back playing, scoring goals, get back into the national team, everyone's just so happy for her.
No, it's brilliant to see. But for West Ham, the challenges are coming now. Should they be starting to panic a little bit here? They need to pick up some points here, Jenna, in the league.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a tough time of it of late. I think when you're going into a game against Arsenal, I think realistically you probably wouldn't expect them to be picking up points against an Arsenal team now who are in fine form, but I think they've got 2 really important games coming up in December where they must win. They've got to start picking up points, because those are the games that matter now. Taking off points against them teams in and around you to try and get out of that rut. But you know, they've got a really young squad. They've got not much depth on their bench, so I think January transfer window would be really important for them.
Be interesting to see how they get on. Everton and Leicester they've got coming up in December. But let's round up the remaining Barclays WSL fixtures, starting with Leicester's trip to Chelsea. Emma Jones can bring us the best of the action.
Chelsea wore black armbands on Sunday and held a minute's silence before kick-off in memory of former player Terry Venables. And then Lauren James picked up where she left off after her hat-trick last week, opening the scoring for the hosts inside 2 minutes. Moments later, James almost claimed her second, but the final touch came off Courtney Nevin for an own goal. After a poor start, Leicester settled into the game and pulled a goal back midway through the first half through Jutta Rantala. Chelsea restored their 2-goal advantage shortly before half-time. Niamh Charles with the assist, Sam Kerr with the finish. Moments later, however, Ann-Katrin Berger was perhaps lucky to escape punishment when she collided with Lena Peterman. But from the resulting free kick, Sam Tierney made it 3-2 after Berger had made the initial save from Amy Palmer. James finally got her second before the hour mark when she connected with Fran Kirby's through ball. And it got worse for the visitors when the prolific Aggie Beaver-Jones found space to make it 5-2. Fortunately for Leicester, that was the end of the scoring as Chelsea extend their unbeaten run to 8.
The team has been tremendous this block. We look so threatening going forward. I think although we're disappointed in how we've given up goals today, I think fair play to the team for the volume of games we've had. Squad proving vital once again, different goal scorers once again, and so overall really happy with this block.
Liverpool faced Brighton off the back of a heavy defeat to Chelsea and went ahead midway through the first half. Gemma Bonner with the header, having been honoured as the Reds' all-time appearance maker in a pre-match presentation. The hosts doubled their advantage just before the break. Sophie Roman-Haug with the run and pass, Shanice van der Sanden with the finish. Liverpool began to dominate play and added a third on 63 minutes. Roman-Haug with the cutback for Kerry Holland to head into an empty net. Matt Beard's side capped off an excellent afternoon in stoppage time following a swift counter-attack. Missy Bokens and Leanne Kiernan combining to set up Roman-Haug to make it 4-0.
Team performance was fantastic. I thought second half were absolutely excellent. Brighton put us under a bit of pressure in the first half. We stood up to that. You know, they're very dangerous on set plays. So yeah, no, really pleased, really pleased.
Everton may have won all 3 of their Barclays WSL games at Aston Villa, but there was little to separate the sides in a cagey first half. The breakthrough eventually came on 54 minutes. Anna Patton with the own goal after Sarah Holmgaard turned back the deep cross. The lead lasted only a minute though. Kirsty Hansen found Rachel Daly, who made no mistake, beating Courtney Brosnan for her 4th Barclays WSL goal of the season. When Hansen misjudged her challenge on Heather Payne, she perhaps knew what was coming. Penalty to Everton. Up stepped half-time substitute Natalie Bjorn to beat Daphne van Domselaar and secure Brian Sorensen's side a vital 3 points.
I'm super proud of them. I think we really dug deep today, and we needed that, and we talked about that before the game. So, yeah, the mentality is back where we want it to be. We really put our stamp on it. So good.
Oh, Lauren James on fire, Jenna. Lauren James on absolute fire. Her last 2 games, 5 goals. You almost thought she'd get another hat-trick again today.
Yeah, I mean, she looks hungrier than ever, doesn't she? Her first goal here comes from a loose pass from Leicester. They'll be disappointed. But, you know, when she's facing goal and one-on-one with the keeper, she's never missing from there. But I think, you know, she's just grown in confidence. And in a team full of superstars, she's slowly becoming one of the key players for them. I think, you know, she's grown with every game. You know, once she gets one goal, it seems to make her hungry, and she's got everything. And, you know, Emma Hayes said last week she's probably one of the most talented players, naturally gifted players that we have in this country. She's special.
And what is it about her for you, Jodie, when you see her, and like Jenna says, in and around superstars in that team as well, and she's really coming into her own?
She's just technically superb, a game understanding. She's so hard to get the ball from. I remember when she was 16 years old playing with her at Arsenal, and you just couldn't get the ball off her in a small-sided game. She was the best player in a small-sided game back then, and you could start to see her potential, and she really has come into her own. And yeah, she's really in fine form, and it's exciting. Being an England fan, not a Chelsea fan, being an England fan, that cheers English, yeah.
You know, it's Jodie sitting at her stall, she's letting us know. I want to talk about Liverpool, 4-0 winners over Brighton, and for Matt Beard, listen, they're on a bit of a good streak at the moment. It wasn't great last week, but this is good, a good performance from them.
Yeah, it was. I think they've made some great signings in the summer. I think moving training grounds to Melwood just shows the professionalism of the club and the direction that the club are going in, and they really are performing and playing well, and today that was no exception, and they scored a number of goals, won 4-0. They're just playing so direct and aggressive, and it's really difficult to play against.
Yeah, it is difficult. In contrast, I want to talk about Villa. For Everton, huge win for them, really important win for them, but for Villa, not so great here, Jenna. What's going on with them, do you think?
Yeah, they started to pick up a good run of momentum, four wins on a bounce there. So today, I think they had that confidence going into here that you'd expect them to take the 3 points, but they come up against an Everton team that are actually fighting for their lives themselves, and I think, the first goal is unfortunate. It's of course, he can't really do much about that. And then the second one's a pen. But I think after the penalty went in, Aston Villa had a lot of the ball and put Everton under a lot of pressure. They just couldn't get the ball over the line. And I think, it's kind of like a step backwards for them. But I definitely still think they've got a lot of quality in that team to turn this around again.
Well, let's see, international break might do them the world of good, but let's take a look at what all of that means for the Barclays Women's Super League table. Chelsea continue to lead the way, still 3 points clear of Arsenal, with their goal difference also considerably better than the chasing pack, although Manchester City are closing that gap and are up to third. Everton move into 8th with their second win of the season. No movement at the bottom though, with Bristol City and West Ham both on 4 points and separated by just 1 goal. No championship action to bring you this evening. All sides in action in the FA Cup second round. So here's what's coming up on the BBC. The Monday Night Club rounds up the weekend's football stories. That's on iPlayer from 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. And there's live Champions League commentary on BBC Sounds this week. Crucial away trips for Newcastle and Manchester United are the focus. So thank you very much, Jodie, on your debut. And Jenna, as always, thank you for guiding us through what's been an amazing weekend of WSL action. We're on a bit of a break now, and attention will go to the Nations League, where England have a couple of must-win games, one of them against the Netherlands. So we'll see you back here in a couple of weeks.
Shimmy in a shuffle onto that left foot and into the corner.
And just like that, Manchester United have a second.
Harvey's ball in. Shaw! A thumping header. Shaw is at it again. Took it nicely, hit it well, and there is the hat-trick for Khadija Shaw.